So far, I've only shown to you a simple if statement on a single line of code. In the first version of your simple JS game, you had two separate if statements. In the updated version of the game, you had almost identical if statements, except for the fact that the values you were comparing were actually keys on an object, not variables. Other than this minor difference, the two games are the same. In this video, I'll show to you that you can actually spread your if statements on multiple lines. So, going into the updated version of this simple game, I'll update the first if statement by pointing my cursor to the left of this console log snippet of code. Now I'll type an opening curly brace right here before the console log. Next, I'll press the Shift-Enter keyboard shortcut, which will push the rest of the code one line down. Finally, I'll go to the very end of the console log and I'll press the Shift-Enter keyboard shortcut again, which will push all the remaining code another line down. Now I'll type the closing curly brace on this currently empty line. The code that begins with this opening curly brace and ends with this closing curly brace is referred to as a block of code. A block of code can have multiple lines of code inside, so let me add another console log inside of it, right after this first console log. So I'll point my cursor to the end of this first console log line, and I'll press the Shift-Enter keyboard shortcut again. This command has moved my cursor down onto a brand new empty line, so here I'll type another command. I'm typing console.log and inside of the parentheses, a string of just a test. Okay, so let me now test this updated code. I'll make sure to have the first if condition execute by making the first number I type into the prompt lower than the second one. So I'm typing 100 into the first input and 200 into the second input. Indeed, the first if condition's code is ran and there are now two strings outputs to the console on two separate lines. This confirms that the updated code works. Now I can also extend the code inside the second if statement. This time, let me add an alert after the first line. So I'll add a brand new line here and also add a string of just a test, only this time I'm using it with alert. Now I'll run the updated app again. This time I'm making sure that the number 1 is greater than number 2. So for the first one, I'll type a 5, and for the second one, I'll type a 4. And now, after running this app, I can confirm that it first outputs a console log, and then it shows an alert. In this video, I've shown to you how you can make the if statement span several lines, and in the next one, I'll show you how to use this functionality to conditionally execute either the old version of the app or the new one.